architecture work guidance. So next we will do the following items such as column, ceiling, floors and others. We have to go back to the floor plan view first, double click the ground floor, and we'll go back to the floor plan view. Next, you have to add in the column, the architecture column first, and the structure column will be covered in the following video. So when you click the column, there are lists of columns for you to choose. You can choose the column that you like, that you want, and then you paste it accordingly. So definitely in architecture drawing, you may paste it at the corners, at the centers, or whatever place that which is needed. So I paste several architecture column here in the drawing, and this is the 3D view for the column. Click modify in case you want to adjust the location of the column, and 3D view will help you to visualize the location of column in a detailed way. Press shift keyboard and press the center of the scroll button. Move your mouse in order to turn the 3D. Again, press shift keyboard, center of the scroll button, and move your mouse. You will be able to move the 3D. And this is the way how we check the wall, door, windows and column correctly. If everything is correct, then we have to go back to the ground floor to add in the other items. So next we are going to add the floor. So there are architectural structures, floors that for you to add. In this lecture we only cover the architecture items. So I will choose architecture, and then you have to choose the suitable floors needed for the building itself. So for example, I choose 10 inches ceramic tiles, and then I have to add it accordingly. So wall, the external wall and internal wall line will be a reference for you to add the floors. So for example, this is 10 inches wall for all, 10 inches floor for all. Then you have to use the wall line as a reference to click it accordingly. So I click the external wall because I assume that they are all the same thickness of the floor itself or slab itself. So I have to click accordingly. Make sure that all the lines are connected. If not, the software will detect errors and the floor cannot be created. So you can see that all my floor lines are connected correctly. For all the corners, check it accordingly to make sure that everything are connected correctly. If no problem, you just tick the tick item at the modify create floor boundary tab there. You just click finish the edited model, and then the slab will be created. View in 3D, then you will be able to see a slab. Again, shift keyboard, center of the scroll button, move the 3D again up and down in order to check the slab is created correctly. Next, we will have to do the ceiling. For the ceiling part, it's quite straightforward, but you cannot edit or create the ceiling at the floor plan, but you have to go to the ceiling plan. So double click the ground floor at the ceiling plan location. Then you will see the floor plan, something like a floor plan but without the slab, because this is a ceiling plan. Now you have to click the ceiling, click architecture, ceiling, and then the software has an auto detect function for ceiling, which is based on the wall line that you drawn just now. You draw just now. So you click the ceiling. For example, you selected the system ceiling, HDC system ceiling, or GW ceiling. It very much depends on genetic ceiling, that if you don't have reference. So it depends on you which type of ceiling you want to create it. You want to create. For example, I want to create this 2 times 4 inches ACT ceiling. So I just click it accordingly. So make sure that you do the ceiling accordingly, and if you have different size of ceiling for different area, then you just change the ceiling tab and put it to the location. So you can see that I used 3 different ceiling for these three separate room. However, I use another type of ceiling for this toilet area. Well, the last one, I would like to use GWB ceiling for this. So after I click it, and if I double click it, then you say that there are distance in the same place. The result would be a double counting in measurement. So I just close it because I double click it, click more than one time just now. So just click the 3D view, you will be able to see a ceiling that I created just now. Again, shift and center of the scroll button, you will be able to check the ceiling accordingly. This is how the ceiling look like. Double click the ground floor again. So you can see that the ceiling are created correctly. Before we move to the next step, I have to double click the ground floor again because I want to build the roof now. So how to build the roof? Again, you have to double check the level 1 because the roof is actually located above the wall. So is the baseline supposed to be a level 1, but you double click a level 1, you will see all the lines are big blur because this is the wall, column and windows that located at the ground floor. If you click roof and click roof by footprint, you can draw the roof actually based on the line you want, which is generally external wall. So overhang is actually the line, outer line of the wall that you click, so that the roof is covered more than the wall for your building itself. So for example, if you want to have a 500 mm overhang, then you have to key in 0.500 as an overhang dimension, and then you can choose the wall that you want or the roof that you want. Then for example, steel truss, wood rafter and so on, in order to create the roof correctly. So I choose the wood rafter 8 inch. So I just point to the wall I want, and there is a dotted line indicated there. So I just click it accordingly. I use external wall as a reference line to create the roof itself. I click all the external wall and I found that the roof line has been created correctly. It's automatically created correctly. So after I check all the lines are connected correctly, then I just click the tick button in order to create the roof. Click the 3D view, then I will see the roof has been correctly created. This is a roof that created just now. Finally, we are now have to go back to the ground floor and add in some additional information to input a detailed drawing. For example, there are dimensions from 1 to 2, etc. We can use the annotation to draw the dimension accordingly. Click the annotate a line, then you can click one dimension, grid line number 1 to grid line number 2 to grid line number 3, grid line number 4, 5 in order to indicate the drawing dimension correctly. And lastly, you just click a blank area at the right hand side, then the dimension will be clearly shown in the drawing itself. Do the same thing for your A to G grid line. Click a line, make sure that it's clicked, then you click the line that you want, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. After the G, you just click a blank area at the bottom, then you have all the dimension accordingly. So if you think that this is too near to each other, you can always click modify and change the numbering slightly above, and click modify to change the ordination up and down. So I managed to move down the dimension, and I managed to move down the figures as well. So it very much depends on how you want to do it. If you think that the dimension shown at above is not so good, then you can definitely move that up and down, and also move the figure up and down as well. So it very much depends on your own design. Lastly, you can add extra annotation. For example, from line 1 to line 7, which is the total figure for this amount, and then which is 10.5 meter. Do the same thing for the left hand side of your annotation, which is actually click modify and slightly extend or prolong the A to Z, and then click the line and move it down and add a annotation which is from A to G accordingly. So the total length is 12.5. So this is the total floor plan that you can use it for your drawing itself. Some people would not like to have bottom numbering, then you can click and uncheck all. For your floor plan. You can do the same thing for the right hand side figures, A to G, and that is the floor plan that created by you for a single story factory. Now you can save the file by clicking File, Save as a project. Type your name accordingly in a folder you want. For example, my document area. Create a folder to keep all your files. For project 1, item number 2, save it, then you will have your Revit file saved accordingly. And this Revit file allows you to export the floor plan to CAD drawings, which you just click File, Export, and CAD format itself. It can be converted to DWG, DXF, DGN, and SAT or ACIS. So DWG is a common file for 2D CAD drawings. So I just do CAD drawings, and then I just export the floor plan out and click next, the current view. Save it accordingly in the folder I want, including the tab file, AutoCAD tab file I want. Then I just click OK. The file will be converted correctly. So that's all for this section. So the next section I will cover the structure details, including how to create the structure column, structure floor, and beam, and the rest. Thank you.